Kind of like explaining God, it's hard to explain the Bible simply. Books and books have been written about the Bible, how to study it, how to understand it, and there are many different translations of the Bible. You might be intimidated by it. Maybe you should be in college first before you even attempt it. But you shouldn't fear the Bible. It's God's message to humanity delivered through prophets whose writings were intended and overseen by God Himself. It's the story of God's people, so obviously, if you're a Christian, the Bible is of great value to you in following Jesus Christ. Becoming a skilled Bible reader takes time and experience, but don't let that stop you from starting. Let me give you this example. When I read books with my young kids, of course, the words make no sense to them. So what are their eyes drawn towards? That's right, the pictures. Now, if you look at this picture, even ignoring the words, which you can read, what would you say this page is about? It's about kids getting onto a school bus. That's easy. But you know what my son often sees? The doggy. He hasn't learned how to comprehend the meaning of the whole thing, so he notices little parts. And since he loves dogs, he sees and says, doggy, on this page. Likewise, my daughter, when we read this book about airplanes, used to get to this page, and what did she point out? This part of the story is about the Wright brothers flying the first plane, but she always pointed and said, shoes. But that's okay. Because the point of reading this book to my daughter isn't that she learns facts about the Wright brothers. It's to get her to fall in love with books so that someday she'll love to read on her own. Is it a problem that my son notices dogs or my daughter notices shoes, even though that's not what the book is about? Not right now. In 5 years, if that's still all they pick out on those pages, well, then we have a problem. It's kind of like that with you and the Bible. If you haven't read the Bible much, first, just pay attention to what you notice. Now, those things may or may not be the main point of the passage, but that's okay. You are developing the habit of Bible reading and asking, what stands out to me? Down the road, you'll learn to ask questions like, what type of writing is this? Who wrote it? Who was meant to hear it or read it? Why was it written in that time? How are my life and me similar to and different from the original hearers? And that's called becoming Bible smart. The meaning of a Bible passage is what was in the mind of the writer. Right now, my kids make a big deal out of a small detail in a picture, but they miss what the writer and illustrator are really trying to communicate. In the same way, just because a detail in a story stands out to you doesn't mean that's what the passage is trying to teach. But these are skills that take time. Early on, you're just looking for what you notice. Be patient. Strive to become a Bible reader. Love your Bible. Find a translation you like. Some are easier to read than others. You can compare translations using websites like Bible Gateway. Finally, some people ask if they should use their phone as their Bible. I'd say no. The Bible app is great, but unless there's a way to block all other notifications that might come in, it would be pretty hard to stay focused doing a devotional time with your phone. So get a paper Bible that you can mark up, underline, take notes, take on vacation, read in places where there's no cell service or Wi-Fi. You'll get to know the locations of books and passages much more easily with an actual Bible you can hold than reading the Bible online.